All right, we're looking for some good trinkets. We want to find ourselves a hoarder, and we're going to be in the theater. My least favorite zone to go to. And we're trying to win 4 road battles to come up with the mastery that comes from that. And since we have a full scout here, I think we can... Oh man, I actually think it's going to be really hard to get the road battles. Oh, actually no, it's road battles, so it's not that bad. So we can go cash to hoarder. That's 1 to Oblivion's Ingress, which is good because if we enable the trinket, that's good. Another chance at a hoarder, but we miss out on the Harvest Child. Do I care about the Harvest Child? If we want to do the Harvest Child, we have to go this way, which gives us a hospital. We're going to have a cultist fight there anyways, but we don't get any hoarders if we go to the lair. I don't know about that, Dark Mage. I think that the Harvest Child is the second hardest boss after the Leviathan. The Leviathan is the one I think you're thinking of. So this is a tough choice. I think 2 hoarders is better than that. And we get 1 road battle here, 2, 3 road battles, 4, because it is road battles, right? Win at least 4 road battles. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to forsake the lair. Not out of fear, mind you, but out of, really, guys? You want to go to the assistance encounter? Well, I guess I'll do it. I would take a cash any day, but... Yeah, we need to spend the baubles, and we get access to the same trinkets that are available from the Harvest Child through the Hoarders, and we miss out on a little bit of mastery, but I think it's probably worth it. Okay, it doesn't really matter which one we go with here. Paracelsus, you and Audrey. I think, yeah, it's this one by a hair because he benefits from both of them. It shores up his relationship with Audrey. Oh, good, another wild tea to take away some of our goodies. All right, big money on the hoarder. We get the academics cash this way too, which is fun.
Let us hope the madman's scrounging has borne fruit.
Road battle number 1. There was a time when road battles weren't counting. I hope that that time is behind us. Oh yeah, I made her fast. So now we're not going to get the stun off of Barbaric Yop, I guess. It's a good hit. It's not enough. It's a 2-turn timer for them, which is not bad. We need like a Reverberating Redoubt. Although, what would we even do? I don't even know what we do with a Reverberating Redoubt if we get one. So now that we've immobilized Baldwin, now we can toe-to-toe in the future. Okay, she gets the stress heal, but the stress is then just redistributed across the party, because we love that. And then front mortar. Oh no, shell shock. We get some stress on the back line.
The slow suffering begins.
I think I'm chasing the combo too hard here on Baldwin. I don't think this is the way. Expected him to peace out to New Jersey on that one. But yeah, we can toe-to-toe without worrying about it. And I guess once we've toe-to-toed once in rank 2, we're kind of in good shape. Those heals are so insane.
Take heart and do not relent.
Let's move this guy forward. 4 to 9, 3 to 5. Wow, Bash really doesn't do... Bash doesn't do a lot of damage, does it? I Yeah, and our turn order is pretty suboptimal right now. We're gonna need to... I think we want Boudica going later so that her Yop has the potential to stun one of the front two. Now, against cultists, I think that will probably be realized because Baldwin will have 2 more speed. The turn order modulating based on who you're fighting is really a little painful. All right, big money, no whammies. Show me the goods. Okay. If HP greater than 75%, Blight resist 50%. The Curing Kappa is hard to say no to, for sure. It's a great trinket. It's going to make Audrey that much more effective, and if we can pair it with some other things, I think it's worth it. So, there go our baubles. And anything else of interest? Do we want to start a whiskey business on the side? I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's all she wrote. All right, cool. Still a good outcome there. That does mean, though, that the silent treatment is not going to likely get used on Audrey. Still good on Paracelsus, though, now that I think about it. Two are voting for science, 1 is voting for the hospital. The hospital is a guaranteed removal of Lost in Space and Nervous. I do love the science, though. Any more hospitals on the way up here? No. Lost in Space is so dangerous. I think we gotta go this way and we gotta take it off. I hate to do it because I love the science. But we're also in a good position because everyone is low stress. So, oh, relationship coming in hot.
Tried and tested. A bond to be counted on.
Let's see. What else? I really like Thunderclap grenades for the for cultist fights, although I don't know if that's changed now that the cultists are more varied. No diseases. And now goodbye Nervous. Goodbye Lost in Space. Don't care, don't care. And I'm gonna grab 2 more Laudanum just to have them. And we'll call it there. I want to go to the cultist fight, though. What are you missing out on? It's a little bit of a bummer. We could go with the silent treatment on Baldwin. Is that insane? It's a little insane. Last hospital. Last stop before rabies. Pretty much my experience in a nutshell. All right, we got ourselves some nasties here. Wasting Sickness, that is a classic. Okay. We got half the blight there. Half the blight that we are owed. We got Mad Blight Resist here. That's good for business. Or Cholera, or Tarantism. Man, the encyclopedic knowledge of my view base about all of the wonderful things they want inflicted upon me. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Good hit. Not enough, but good hit.
An unavoidable end.
we get the stress heal, and then stress is littered throughout the party. It just doesn't feel the way it should feel. Okay, so you're taking 4, you have 9. You're taking 4, you have 10. Let's just try and get you sorted. Okay, good, you're done. You're immobilized, so we can toe to toe here to get the taunt. A run-of-the-mill oozes. It's a classic. It's one of my all-time favorites.
Early results are encouraging.
Little oozes for you and the family. Baldwin's dropping some bombs at the moment. Respect to the bald man. You're roasted. So we do that. Get the vulnerable pumping. Now what? Hitting this guy doesn't do us any good. So let's just clear the corpse, move everybody forward. Beautiful kill.
A little help impeccably timed.
Yep. Essentially, the Hellion Carcass is just a glorified punching bag. Wrong way. Do that stress healing in the opposite direction, please. Bash needs... I think Bash needs to be a little more flexible. If Bash could hit rank 3 at its damage level, I think it would... that would be pretty solid. And I guess we yop here. The turn order means we basically are never going to get the value of yopping. Oh. That guy was one off. Whoops. Audrey is wrecking fools at the moment. Much mad appreciation, Audrey.
Cooperation is the key.
We may have a slightly hard... No, I think we'll be fine. Oh, for sure, Dark Mage. To be clear, for anyone who is kind of like lurking in the background and is like, but the carcass still is awful. The carcass is still awful. I don't want to give anyone any illusions that I think the carcass is good. But I also think that the only way you kind of learn the strengths and weaknesses of classes is to play them. And, you know, I don't want to sit here and say that the carcass is trash until I've really put the carcass through its paces. And also, I think there are some minor bragging rights that might come from beating the Seething Sigh with the carcass. So, while I'm not saying that's going to happen, I think it would be fun if it did. I hope that's fair. But yeah, I don't think we're in good shape necessarily. I think we might die to the Seething Sigh if we even make it there. We're gonna have a hard time against the Exemplar too. Let's look at relationships really quickly. But yeah, I do think there is some real value to putting ourselves out there and seeing what we can make of it.
Aspiration unites the hopeful.
I don't think I've seen anyone beat the Seething Sigh with the carcass. I already beat the Chains of Denial with the carcass, to be clear. That is a terrible location for an elite herald. Oh my, this is going to be bad. That's a very expensive plan. I don't like spending smoke bombs on things that feel a little frivolous like that, but I think literally the only damage dealer that we have right now for the back rank is Audrey. Why is Kappa not procking? Oh, is it like a 33% of the time thing? Oh, it is. That makes the Kappa a lot worse. I think I thought that it always procced. That's my own foolishness. Yeah, the Monarch isn't helping either, but might help with the Exemplars for pumping some damage. I think we just light everybody on fire as much as possible. Uncontrolled Deuter is very unfortunate. That is the worst place for them to target that. So I'm very glad that worked out that way. Do I just roll the dice here? 50-50? No, I think I put up the taunt and go for it next time. Yeah, if it was... It might not have been a miss, but...
A slow dissection.
Okay, at least we're mostly in good shape. We're not going to take a crazy amount of stress here, I don't think. On your feet. We have an insane amount of healing, and the number of times we've had to heal has been vanishingly small, so... Gosh, that's just... It's not enough. Goodbye. A slow dissection. Such a good line. One damage. Take that, foul cur. Okay. If this cherub could GTFO, that would be delightful. That's a cool idea, Stefan. I like that concept for sure. Let's see. Sure, why not? Let's just... Yeah, in hindsight, I'm not sure I would have gotten the Kappa, unfortunately. Gosh, our leper is really just like low rolling the heck out of things. I really kind of wanted to swing for the fences there, but I think it's better to play a little more conservatively. What does Lost in Time do, as a side note? I know that's a weird question, but I know Lost in Space shuffles, but I know Dark Mage. It kind of hurts. I'm gonna assume that he's saving it all for the finale. Oh well, we got to do this, right? It's only 30 damage, and he has a blind token. I'm just gonna stress heal. Sad. Let's do this. We want to get the cherub up here so that no more horror lands on the team. And I don't think we're gonna have any problem getting that on Death's Door. The crits are starting to come in on Audrey in a nice way. Now, I'm going to fish for this crit landing. Okay, because that will be a little bit of stress heal potentially. Because it wasn't the final attack of the fight. Ah, thank you, Stefan. That's a cool one. I think there's some potential to that. And then, why not? We'll toss the heal and remove the blind, and maybe the Monarch can do the work. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, we came away from this pretty solid. I really don't know what I'm gonna do with the silent treatment though. if we were to get a Dark Impulse. Come on. This is getting insane. Like... now you can... the only cultist trinket that we have gotten, it was from an academic study. And now we can't even get the Dark Impulse Enabler. I think they over-nerfed the Dark Impulses, to be honest. I think Lost in Time has huge potential. Like, I think you can play around Lost in Time much better than you can play around Lost in Space. Does Lost in Space have a benefit? Because that one, I think I only know the negatives of. Triumphant Pride does indeed precipitate a dizzying fall. Has that always been that much stress? Wow, these guys are all going for their big ruinous attacks. Lovely. Yeah, I think we just get the kill here. Good job, Boudica. You do such a good job. Oh, the 25% chance to stealth. Yeah, that's not nothing, I will say. Is feeding time a heal? I forget. No, it is not. Okay. For some reason, I thought there was a cooldown on Baneful Breath. Sepsis. And sepsis. This looks like an easy Raucous. So I did know that you could get both. Not at the same time, though, can you? I mean, you can have them both at the same time, but I don't think I've ever seen you get both from the same event. Oh, where are these weakness tokens coming from? Say yes to stress. Sounds about right. Let's see. We will... Okay, nobody needs the relationship, but let's keep our torch up. Move forward. Oh, wait, they fuse together to become one quirk? That's super cool. The feeder's favorite disease. Well, it certainly feels that way. Let's see. I think... I'm just gonna lock myself in place, and we'll at least land the bleed next time. From the front... Oh, well, that's awkward. From the front rank, what can you do? You can do tongue lashing. You can't do baneful breath. You can do fleshy backhand or billows cannon. Okay. You brought the plague doctor to the party. But yeah, Paracelsus is our weakness. We don't have any way to handle stress healing on them. Does it just combine the two of them in terms of effect, or does it do something different? Like, is it worth seeking out, I guess is the question.
Necessary.
Because it would be awesome if Lost in Time and Space was, like, somehow, like, epically good. That would be super fun. Now, unfortunately, this next Hoarder better not have, like, a reverberating redoubt, or I'm going to be really sad. Hey, SKM. I see you. Slowly, gently. Galvanizing Goblet would have been better. Way better. Kind of wish we had stuck it out for that one. But what can you do? I think we just save our money too. Yeah. Nothing for us here. Okay, Dark Mage. Yeah, it would be cool if it was entirely different. Paracelsus, are you ruining things? Settle down, my friend. We're also in jeopardy of losing Field Surgeon on Paracelsus, which, you know, it hasn't been exactly transformative for us so far. Hasn't bailed us out of anything, but it could. So far, this has been a pretty underwhelming feeder. Yeah, we'll take the vulnerable token. Alright, big money, no whammies. Best place for that to be targeted, for sure. Wait, how did the altar not get... Oh, the altar comes with 1 defense. That's what's going on there. That makes sense. Yeah, so the vulnerable was canceled out by the block token. Strengthen the Cherub. It's a bold move. So until we get the altar down, we don't want to feed a bunch of crit tokens to these fools in the front. Wish I had a yellow hand. Utterances you will never hear me say. Does Magnesium Rain... I guess because of the dodges, we don't have any risk of... Oh, that did appear even with the dodge to give crit. That's weird. Audrey really low rolled on things here. It's gonna be a nasty set of hits on the front from these front two, but they can take it. So okay, so how do we fix the carcass? If we're going to talk about the value of the carcass for a second here, I would say the way that you fix the carcass is you make it so that the stress heal that you get from their path is party wide. I think that's the ticket. It does feel good when they do that. Solemnity is going to clean this up, so I think we just delete that one. That's what I'm thinking, Dark Mage. That would make it actually, from my perspective, an interesting one. Right? Because all of a sudden, she could be your stress healer, and crit tokens would have some value, and maintaining taunt would be valuable on her. Which, at the moment, I just feel like they've kind of missed the mark on that one. Like, that doesn't feel like the case. I'm going to do that. Wanted to see if we could get the stun here, which no such luck. Yeah, I don't think it would make her overpowered. It's still really hard to successfully generate crit tokens on the enemy or get the crits, and it would mean that all of a sudden she was the only passive stress healer in the game. Except for, technically, I guess, the Virtuoso is also a passive stress healer. But those being the only two would be interesting. I'm doing this because I don't want the Cherub handing out any more things. 9 damage from a Monarch here. That's just insulting. Sure, I'll do the big heal on Boudica. Yeah, I mean that's what I think the Hellion needs, is some way to make specifically the Carcass, some way to make the Carcass a unique class that you play around differently, and I think that's probably it from my perspective. I also think it should probably just be 100%. If you get crit, this is what happens. I don't think that there's huge value to making it like a sometimes that happens, because crits just they aren't that scary or predictable or anything like that. So let's see. Let's just do that. Then why not a token or debuff for 100% crit chance? So you're saying add something to the game that would do that, Stefan? Because I think it's just like, it's already, there's already options. Yeah, crit for 0 could be quite lovely.
A lesson taught is a lesson learned.
Okay, we'll get a big heal on the leper. So we're leaving here with everybody looking good and happy.
Wound, at least, has been tended to.
And then if this guy decides to crit us, that's only good news in this very rare case. Yeah, I think it's all over. But if we don't get a Dark Impulse, even if we get a Dark Impulse, I'm not fully sure what we do.
The past is gone. Let it die.
Wow, still no Dark Impulse. Can we get a check on this one? This is insanity. Idle Thought is very interesting, though. Big upfront damage. It's not good for bosses, though.
Abates.
But we just can't get a Dark Impulse to save our lives. That's the big joke here, apparently. Yeah, this is actually kind of insane. Stun resist I like. Yeah, we'll leave those as is.
An elementary problem.
Red Hook, why? Why do you do this to me? For science. Yeah, it's an interesting thought, Stefan, for sure. But this is getting ridiculous. I don't know how many cultist fights we've done so far, but it's a lot. And the fact that we don't have one Dark Impulse and we now have had 3 cultist trinkets is getting a little stupid. Well, we have to do it. So either we're going to get scouting or we're going to get a trinket chance. We will definitely take the trinket chance. She becomes devout. Who she is devout towards, who knows? True Entropy. Yeah, not a single Dark Impulse, Stefan. It's kind of insane. Audrey... I think we're... The Curing Cup is just going to go on someone else. I think Audrey is getting the silent treatment. Yeah, that goes there, I think. Then Guarding Gauntlets, they were fine. We'll hang on to them for the moment.
Consider all variables, but do it quickly.
I'm not sure either. I think they just wanted them not to be I mean, I guess they wanted you to be deliberate, but I mean, I've been pretty deliberate about going after cultist fights, and I'm floored by how much we have not found anything.
Pillaging brigands, enriching themselves as the world collapses.
I can get down with that, Innie. I could definitely get down with that. I could get down with True Entropy giving you a 20% chance for Shambler fights. Thanks, True Entropy.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
Baldwin is inseparable. Front mortar, unquestioned. Oh no! Wow. Yeah, I mean the game knows that anytime it puts damage on Paracelsus, I'm just gonna be a sad panda. So that's what it's going for. Or excuse me, stress damage on Paracelsus. All right, that guy's wrecked. Oh, I guess we can resist the negative tokens, or I don't know which was which on that one, but no front mortar for them. How cleverly you scheme. How did Boudica roll so well the first turn and so badly the second turn? Holy cow. Yep, we have a staggering number of glorified doorstops, to be sure.
The smallest
We're
variable
all...
can make all the difference.
It's because the Plague Doctor is a surgeon. Oh my gosh. And then finally we have a combo lined up, and I've already used Yop. This is just... I can't win with Boudica and trying to get the combo to be effective. It's just impossible. Having a combo consuming ability that also has has a cooldown on it is pretty tough. Also, when did Audrey stop hitting? She's been hitting for like 4s lately. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but... Okay. I was fishing for a crit, but that's okay. Yeah, she is for sure. Dark. I think the Grave Robber needs... Okay, so we had this discussion last week, and I think that it bears repeating. The thing about the Grave Robber is that, much like the Highwayman, the Grave Robber's like class-defining aspect is stealth. And yet she doesn't really have a good way, like her stealth granter, which is Shadow Fade, doesn't work like Take Aim does, and it really should. It should add probably a crit token or something like that, and make there be a little more impact to her going into stealth. Like that would make a big difference. But in its current form, that's not happening, and it feels bad because going into stealth is lost opportunity. The cost is high, and it doesn't come with much. That's pretty much exactly what happened, Stefan. I think that the surgeon sapped all of the goodness out of the Hellion, leaving nothing behind. Not necessarily, Rose. Slime Mold is no longer all bad. It's still kind of okay. I don't like having taunt on Audrey. just for the record. Every disease has a vaccine. Yeah, she just needs, I think she needs more enablers for getting into and out of stealth. She also doesn't have a trinket that directly provides her kind of a better capacity for getting in and out of stealth. So that's another facet. What am I even doing here now? I was gonna... try and focus this one down with a little extra oomph, but... I don't know. I think quad Plague Doctors would probably be pretty strong, honestly. Especially if I could pick which paths they have. I think quad Plague Doctor might be extremely OP. Okay. She has pretty high death score, so she will probably live to fight another day. Alright. Color me pleased. And then, of course, Barbaric Yop is on cooldown because I have a combo available. Like, that has been the story of this entire run. And that's why I like to have Boudica in slot 2, because that heads off a lot of larval stomps and the like. Dark Mage, yeah, things like that would also make a huge difference. I'm going for the double stun here. That's my plan. We'll see if it works.
The slow suffering begins.
Oh, we're gonna consume the combo, one of the combo on Audrey. It doesn't matter. The maid's going anyways.
A brilliant conclusion.
Boudica's like, I heard you added a bunch of combo, so I've decided to roll absolutely last in the turn order so that the stun has no positive effect whatsoever. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I am a carcass. Ugh. Yep, no combo. We also can't lead with toe-to-toe, in case anyone was wondering, because if we lead with toe-to-toe, then we move to the front slot, which means that we're not getting any of the goodies that Baldwin has on offer. Like Intimidate, which is probably the only part of the Monarch that's good. So, Rose, I think we're maxed on relationship, honestly, at the moment. The only one, I guess, Paracelsus could use a little bit of relationship on one of them, but everybody's maxed, so I think we're pretty much good.
The one pleasant in the extreme.
Oh, great.
This work is noble.
Oh my gosh, the garbage that we are getting shoveled is really something else. Yeah, slime mold we keep. We do have one. Yeah, there we go. Drop that in like that, and then get rid of the glimmers. I think that's fine. And then Creature Den. Everybody better vote for it. Audrey, Baldwin. Very naughty. So the disease cure would be really nice here. Now you can't get dark impulses from Oblivion's Rampart anymore, right? So we're gonna have to hope that in the next region we get it, or maybe we just carry around these trinkets for no use forever. -2 food reward. I want to... Okay, so right now, we're going to do a bit of science with this -2 food reward. We have 2 slime mold. So I'm going to try choosing this one and see if it takes away our slime mold. Because otherwise, I don't understand what -2 food is, unless there was going to be food at the end and it's telling us that. But it's very confusing. Oh, snap. It's going to get eaten. I know it is. I'm going to be so sad when it does, too. Yep. Oh, 100%. No good deed goes unpunished. All I needed was Paracelsus to not roll absolutely horrifically. But, that right there, that's what you get. That was a 13 assist without using the vulnerable token? Dang. What did you pick up that all of a sudden... Oh, True Entropy. True Entropy's like, hey, here's taunt tokens. The Shadowfade Deathloop. Did I miss something there? Sorry, I think I might have. Is there a particular reason that we're worried about Shadowfade being too strong or something like that?
A deliberate and methodical appliance of harm.
The problem is we basically guarantee to get the kill here. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So we're going to remove that and we will try to kill it immediately at the start of next turn. Game, why you gotta be like that? Ugh.
Steady yourself.
Ah, that's really frustrating. It's going to be hard to get a good turn order now. Well, unless we just don't get the kill, I guess. Yeah, we need to hold off. Because if Paracelsus gets the kill, that's the worst case scenario. So we're gonna burn Audrey's turn to give everyone else. Audrey, you're killing me. Killing me. All right, we still got it. We still get the 3 turns, but like Audrey's rolls have been horrific.
A slow dissection. An unavoidable end.
But Stefan, she can't do any damage. So is it really like... Is it really that dangerous? Oh, resist the stun too. My first chance at actually getting the stun. And what happens? Gosh, True Entropy is just turning Audrey into a tank. How lovely. So she can... So among other things, like... I mean, the Seething Sigh would just kill her with the AoE. What fight is cheesable with Shadowfade? I mean, like, does the game really care if you sit there for 7 hours shadow fading and, you know, like, that doesn't gain you anything. Yeah, I would need some specifics of what the disadvantage is, how it comes back to bite you, I guess. Because I don't see a specific case where it, like, ruins anything. Or makes it so you can win a fight that you otherwise couldn't. Unless literally your entire party is dead, in which case I'm not sure it's important. If Shadowfade did damage, or added a dot, that might be a different bucket of syrup, but I think in that case it's not particularly important. You couldn't just do 2 more damage, Audrey? You have been... Oh, it's gonna eat now. Ah, you fool. I mean, I agree, Stefan, but I don't know that that matters. Like, I don't think that's a, and we should plan around it accordingly type of thing. So, one nice thing about Indiscriminate Science, it does cure Taunt. Does not cure Winded, though, unfortunately. And I think these are all going to be... Oh, 2 to 3. Ah, oh my gosh, this guy is really, really putting us through our paces. Sepsis? Do I? 5%? Alright, I let Cultist roll on that one, so I'll let that roll as well. Lighted Spider is best spider. Our dodges never work. Good resist there. We did pick up Tarantism on Boudica, which is a bit of a bummer.
A simple variable, easily resolved.
I think we're going to come out of this in better stead than we left, than we entered it. Not left. Wow, True Entropy is really living up to its name. So as soon as you attack, you lose stealth, Stefan. So does that really change things up much? Yeah, I don't think that it creates the stalemate, but I understand where you're coming from.
Cut down these nightmares and blaze the trail to your
Discount on all combat-in items. Wahoo. I don't think that's going to be particularly use. Okay, so trinkets, Charred Litany, I think is garbage. We get rid of that, and then same with the Guarding Gauntlet. All right, onward. Onward to Oblivion's Rampart. Wow, 2 mastery. We get the 2 from here, but that's pretty tragically bad. Given that we still need mastery, we're not out of the woods, and like Idle Thoughts is basically you front load your damage, which for most fights is good, but especially boss fights is bad. I do not like this one bit. Oh, and they're hastened. This is gonna be a terrible fight for us, just for the record. This fight is gonna eviscerate us. Even though they're not ordained, Audrey's gonna low roll, and it's gonna get very ugly very fast. Torchlight is at 21. Yeah, that's not enough. Clarion Call, here we come.
anxiety for men's insidious
Stress resist is a thing. Alright. Well, it could have been a lot worse. We could be at 6 stress right now. Yeah, that's my thought as well, Dark. I generally agree with you. I think we go for the mag rain. 6. This guy's dead. That means that Audrey goes here. What? In what freaking world do the heralds? Oh yeah, I forgot they're hastened. Never mind. My outrage is misplaced.
on to the next.
My outrage is misplaced. Good lord. Could Audrey just, like... She's really, really demonstrating the weakness of the Grave Robber at the moment. 7, 11. I mean, I think we just... We need just a little more damage, but we don't have it. I want the leper to take the clarion call because we have solemnity. So, all right, we're not going to take the clarion call. So that's good news. Thank you, Audrey. Where was that all along? I mean, it seems to do a lot of damage, if nothing else, Rose. Okay, we're gonna need to start. Leper needs some love now, but holy cow, like for serious. It's a bit of a waste of a laudanum, but we're not gonna get all the stress gone either way. Jeez. I'm a little sad about the fact that our rolls have been pretty middling at best in this fight. True Entropy. It's just really loves giving us vulnerable tokens. Also, Nocturnal, love it, love it. I think it's a hew here just to see if we can take the dodge off. Well, or there is still room for another. You're dead, right? Yeah, you're dead. Okay.
Stupendous.
Nice hit. Wow, really? With 4 pips, you're that pissed? See, the stress doesn't pile up on the carcass, it piles up on the ancillary friends and characters. So let's see, you're gonna die soon, you're gonna die, so I guess we can just do that.
A petty hindrance.
Solemnity is gonna clear us up quite nicely. Although we still need a big ol' heal from our Plague Doctor. You said I was the only one. Okay, well, that's why we have 2 heals, I guess. Oh my gosh, a Dark Impulse. Is such a thing even possible? If disease minus 25% max HP. Brilliant. Our 1 disease is on Audrey. Hilarious. Alright, well, here we go. We did indeed get it. Oh, this is such an awful fight. Oh, this is such an awful fight. Ah. Boudica does have Tarantism, you are correct. This is... freaking... Oh, wow. This is gonna get ugly. Two to 5. Love it. Okay.
Bravo.
This is gonna be fun. By killing this, we also are guaranteeing that we have to leave this guy to crit us endlessly. Well, at least the Plague Doctor can swing at the altar. That's something. This is bad news bears, though, for sure. We got rid of the crit token. I'm just going to focus on this instead. This is about as bad as this fight can get. If that regen had kept him alive, though, that would have been. I love the Deacon so much. Very nice, Dark. Very nice. Let's see. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think Raucous Revelry is probably the right go. You gotta love them, right? And then just more plot. More plotting to the front. Love it. Let's try that again. Thank you, game. Okay, no worships at least. But now we have this jerk to deal with. You need to make sure you're well prepared for it.
A slow dissection.
Yeah, Stress City indeed.
Unavoidable end.
Okay, if anyone was going to take a big old hit of stress, that's the person we wanted it on. Let's just reduce that. Oh, interesting. Tarantism. Incredible. Mag Rain to get this guy up front so we can actually start putting some damage in, and then hopefully he goes down nice and quick. I'm not spending any more smoke bombs on him. The last two worked so well. That's all I have to say on that front. And look at this, now finally, our Leper gets to hit, and our Monarch Leper hits for 8 against him. Come on. Like, this is just a little bonkers when our Plague Doctor is hitting for 23. Come on. And there goes our chance for doing Raucous Revelry, so... Tarantism, worth it for sure. Oh my gosh, that was not a very fun fight. Surgeon is busted, Monarch is busted, but in the opposite direction. And now we have to get rid of a lot of stuff. Well, we can consolidate smoke bombs since we only have 2 left now. We're not going to hang on to that many stimulants. That can go there. 1 laudanum is not worth hanging on to. And then... So which of these are we going to use? Idle Thoughts on the Surgeon would be so hilarious. Just double damage. But the Healing Trinket is worth it. That's 3 kills for the Hellion. It's glad someone's keeping count. Alright, I'm just going to do that, and then I'm just going to assume that we're not going to get anything insane on the drive-in. But wow. 3 mastery for the whole region. Pretty stinky business. We got a decent bankroll, though. We have the silent treatment, which is the stealth crit trinket. I'll show them both, Jason, when we get in there. Or I could do it now. Well, we're about to fade to black. but I'll show it to you in 1 second.
Rest tonight.
Generous Slayer of Cosmic Zoophobia for Baldwin. Okay. So to answer... Thank you. To answer the question, the 2 trinkets that we have right now is we have Silent Treatment, which is if stealth, 50% chance to crit. If no stealth, take 50% more damage, and round start, 66% chance to stealth. So it would fit well on Audrey, although it fits much better on a Nightsworn. And then we have Idle Thoughts, which for most fights is pretty sweet. And basically is double damage first turn, 70% damage second turn. I will probably use Idle Thoughts on the Plague Doctor for the next region.
Remind us of a time before the end.
The Greater Cleansing Sensor has some allure to it. Okay, we didn't get another one of those, so we'll go with that. We'll let the trackers map go. Because unfortunately, right now at least, we don't want Audrey. Audrey has a disease, so we don't really want her having that. So okay, what are the plays here? Throne Dagger, although, well, we probably use Flashing Dagger more frequently, but keep Throne Dagger and Flashing Dagger. Pirouette is mostly just for repositioning. Intimidate, I don't think is going to come in that handy. Cause of Death is interesting, but it's only useful if you're getting like crit tokens or things of that nature. So I'll grab Mag Rain because it is a slight improvement. Yeah, removing dots from self is probably worth it as well. And then the Intimidate upgrade is not particularly great. I don't think getting rid of Winded is all that useful. Guess I'll get Wicked Hack. I'm kind of lacking like a vision. We could start with Pirouette. I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll grab Adrenaline Rush. Comes in handy once in a while.
The provinces and cantribs of our land.
We're not going Naked and Afraid.
And undone.
I think we're still better off going to the Sprawl. The crit trinket is better than not.
Another nameless city.
And then I think for now, this and this are going to get replaced by this and this. True Entropy has been true trash so far. I like Audrey going early, but I don't think the 15% damage is even worth it, honestly. And then what we really... The in items here are tragically awful. I'll put my time in the desert there. I think we're going foodless too. What's our... Yeah, nothing interesting there. Do we have a quirk that we want to get rid of? We don't really have anything. We don't care about the positive trinkets there. Has Field Surgeon been overwritten? No, we still have it. It just hasn't procced in 2 regions, I don't think. And then I think I'm just going to buy food. Sad, but true. And then anything else of interest? My time in the desert, not really. Speed bag. The holy beads are useful-ish. Yeah, but I think that's it. Maybe we'll grab some. Is there one for... No, there's literally no stress healing items in here, so... I guess that's it. I don't love our situation. And where did I decide we're going? The Sprawl? Alright. We'll get a rematch against the librarian. Okay.